Welcome to Scum and Villainy, a Star Wars story? Originally a trilogy, but due to the machinations and misfortunes of our intrepid group of 4 bounty hunters and an unfortunate Jawa doctor hostage, we find ourselves in a horrible, horrible situation. So I will allow the wonderful players to introduce themselves as well as the people they are playing.
All right, I am Nate. I'm playing Kamameza, Celestin Bounty Hunter. Maybe this will be a trilogy if we all die. You never
know. Distinct possibility.
Truth.
I'm Warrior. I play Honk, the aforementioned doctor hostage. And these assholes have ruined my life.
So much so that you've now inadvertently taken a hostage.
I did.
And a bunch of leg meat.
I learned it from watching you.
That's got to be something different.
You have space Stockholm syndrome.
I think it's Reykjavik syndrome. Hi, I make dumb jokes. My name's James. I'm playing Rorku, Trandoshan Bounty Hunter. Good friend of Cam's. Also, this has all been a terrible, terrible misunderstanding.
That misunderstanding started at Extra Life, I believe. When you assassinated a group of individuals on TV.
To be fair,
no, there is no
only
to be
killed
fair.
one. We only killed one of them. We didn't assassinate a group of individuals.
No, you killed. Go back and watch it.
You
individually
the one.
Yeah, we only assassinated one.
The rest,
we only assassinated one.
The rest you just inadvertently killed because you were pissed off. Because you killed someone you shouldn't have killed on TV.
Hey, listen, it's the HoloNet, okay? There is no TV in Star Wars. I'm in a galaxy far, far away to escape the real world, King.
You need to get to the Outer Rim to escape the Imperial Security Bureau.
I'm Matt.
Moving on.
I play Wilbur, a Gamorrean bounty hunter who has no legs.
Currently.
Well, I mean, yeah, I have no legs. It's fine. And I'm sort of both a hostage and a hostage taker. Truly, I contain multitudes.
You're an onion.
Tastes like.
If cooked in enough butter, probably.
I'm Joel. I'm playing 2R15T, the droid pilot.
You can drop the pretense of your fake name and go back to your real name now.
Oh no, I'm still deep undercover.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Well, the last time we played, I don't even know. I want a t-shirt that's just a picture of Honk, and then it's got the rest of the crew on the back, and he's just holding a little piece of paper that says, I don't even know these assholes. That is t-shirt worthy. So last session, we ended with our intrepid droid ace pilot 2R15T making a decision to use your brand new vessel. Remind me again what your new vessel is.
Dolores X.
What kind of ship is it?
Which is a
stock
freighter.
Yep. That had a souped up tractor beam to grab Honk's ship, the Mine, and yank it out of the docking bay lock at the deep water, since there were bounty hunters afoot, former employer of most of you, who would come to collect on all of you. If I remember correctly, TR-15T did not set a coordinate and jumped blindly into hyperspace, towing another vehicle.
Not quite. Not quite.
Oh, please elaborate.
My understanding of what happened was that Honk was wrapping up surgery, about to give some much needed legs to some much needed people that need legs. And I don't know if there's a term for that. And then
You're the legs of the legless.
Suddenly,
Legs given.
his ship
Legs.
started free floating in space, and a bunch of people started shooting at it. And then he hit the hyperspace button in a panic at the same time that he was being tractor beamed unknowingly because no one told him.
Oh, this is even worse. Okay, perfect. At least when at least it was just one person pulling the other, I was like, oh, this is doable. Now I've got two people moving independently of one another through hyperspace with no coordinates. Just waiting for a mass shatter to be the end of you. So you're both currently racing. Both ships are racing through hyperspace with no destination. While doing so, your tractor beam overheats on the Dolores 2 and burns out. You don't have to know them, they're just a hostage. You have a fire on the ship that is spreading. What do you want to do?
Does the ship have a fire suppression system?
Well, why don't you roll me a cool? And I'm echoing in somebody's.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too.
Uh, 10.
So a success with no consequence. So you tell me, 2R15T, what's the fire suppression system like?
I'm going to go with it vents the oxygen.
Does it close everything off, or does it just simply vent?
It's a good-sized ship. I would think it would seal off sections and vent.
Okay. So it vents out, and in doing so, everything loose inside that area gets thrown around to a pretty significant degree. But the fire's out. I would like you all to roll me one 6-sided dice, all of you on the ship.
All right, is low good or bad?
I got
a 6.
I got a 1.
It sums up our relationship, Nate.
That's true.
As far as rolling goes.
TR15T, what did you get?
I was like, do you need me to roll? Because
yes, you're on the ship.
Pilot seat and I don't need air.
Oh, no. It does. That's not what we're looking at.
Okay. What thing am I rolling for?
You're just rolling one 6-sided dice.
Oh, okay.
May the force be with you, Joel.
Thank you. That would be a 5.
Oh, nice. Okay. You don't think you're almost positive, due to the security systems where you can see the back area, that nothing was heavily damaged. I was basically adding your three numbers together, and if you got below a 7, the catastrophe, that yes, much better. If it was in that moderate, there would have been some damage, but since you got over 12, no damage. You do know, though, that you're basically on a collision course with disaster if you don't jump out of hyperspace immediately. But if you jump out of hyperspace immediately, you have no idea where you are, and you'll have no idea how to get back to a hyperspace route. You would need to fly at sublight to find the nearest area and also to find where you are. Meanwhile, on the mine, between you and let me grab dude's name, Tutu, you had pretty much completed Wilbur's legs. And that is when everything went to poop. 2B is letting you know, Doctor, we have made a drastic error by entering hyperspace without any coordinates.
Well,
Your ship is not prepared to survive this type of speed and potential damage from and then you hear this boom! Something hits you in hyperspace and your ship starts to careen. Red lights everywhere. 2B tells you, I am preparing to shut down systems. Please evacuate to lifeboats immediately.
What lifeboats? Do we have lifeboats on here?
You have 2 escape pods.
That's not enough escape pods.
Yeah, how many people can they hold?
Most likely, all of the organics.
What about you?
I will remain on the ship. And once we have powered down, I will attempt to reboot systems without life support and pull us out of hyperspace in the hopes of A, remaining functional, and B, to hopefully find you at some point again.
I don't want to leave you behind, Toby.
I wish for you not to perish in a horrific, another loud, just crashing noise.
What?
We have been struck by 2 objects in hyperspace floating independently of one another, Doctor. Situation is becoming dire. We are venting oxygen as we speak.
All right. But, we didn't even get your legs on.
It is a little late for that. Your only alternative is to pull us out of hyperspace. Again, just ship gets rattled again. You're not sure what's hitting you, but it's whatever, it's not good. These are our options. You have little to no time to make a decision, Doctor.
Okay. Well, why don't everybody get into pods and I'll pull us out of hyperspace. We'll just make the best of it.
Tom is helping Wilbur into a pod. Your legs are working. You have these brand new fancy ass metal legs that are like thick boy calves and thick boy speed skater thighs. So you're a tank.
All right.
And Tom looks at you and he says, if we pull the pod in hyperspace, it's a death sentence.
I think they're gonna turn the tanks out of hyperspace.
Let's turn hyperspace off. Let's turn it off.
And then we'll jettison?
I think that's the hope. Yeah.
But what about you, Doctor?
Well, I gotta make sure Toby's okay. I gotta put his legs on.
You're a doctor, not a mechanist, Jim.
I don't know who Jim is, and I don't think we have time to figure out who he is right now. But
all right, he grabs.
I made a promise. I made a promise to my robot. Okay.
You turn around.
Attach to the ship. Can't we just disconnect him and then drop out of hyperspace?
You turn around, Honk, and you are stabbed with a narco stem. Please take the captain.
Toby.
Please take the captain aboard. As soon as I am able to pull the vessel out of hyperspace, I will jettison your escape pod. That way, if there's further damage to the vessel, you will not be caught in the wreckage or subsequent explosions. Goodbye, my friend Wilbur.
You're a hell of a torso. Nicest robot I've met since I had no legs.
I will take that as the greatest compliment I have ever known. Once you're strapped in, Wilbur, Tutu grabs Honk, drags his tiny form in, latches him in, and the rest of you just feel this incredible pressure, and you're jettisoned. Meanwhile, back on the Dolores, Meanwhile, stuck at the Hall of Justice. What are you doing?
Freaking out.
I mean, 2/3 of us are freaking out.
TR15T, you realize if you don't do something very, very quickly, you will either be struck by some sort of debris in hyperspace because you're just out there in hyperspace, not in a lane, or you will drift close enough to a mass shadow and you will be dead.
He's just gonna drop out of hyperspace.
Okay, you drop out of hyperspace as well. I want all of you to be cool. Be super, super cool.
All right. I got a 9 for my cool.
Okay.
Got a 6.
Okay.
Damn it, Cam.
I know.
That oxygen hits you faster than me.
9.
Okay, perfect. What did you get again, Rorku?
I got a 9. 8 plus 1.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Cam, you were not completely belted in, and you go jettisoning across the ship. And you take 2 wounds.
Could I try to...
No.
Okay.
Not in this particular case. You got a 9. You're not taking damage, but yeah, the consequence is you can do nothing.
Thanks for trying.
TR2R15T, you pull it out and you can hear your hyperdrive in your new ship to you drop like a bad tranny in a minivan. Your nav computer is shot. Your hyperdrive is shot. Your special souped up tractor beam is junk. You're floating around on sublight speed, lucky to be functional, let alone have your 2 fleshy friends be breathing. You realize as you're calculating and going through how bad this is and how bad it could have been, this was the best possible outcome for the situation. Like this is a situation that other pilots don't survive.
You know what they say? Any drop from hyperspace that you can walk away from.
Honk remains unconscious in his pod.
His escape pod has gone missing.
Yes. And that's the thing. You scan and you don't see the mine floating anywhere near you.
Is everybody else okay?
Because Cam is not okay.
Can I roll over and check on him?
Yeah, you're now just floating on sublight speed.
Okay.
So yeah, and your ship's limping along, but if it was your old ship,
mm-hmm.
If it was the Dolores 1, you're not sure that would have made it at all. You just knocked all of the brand new finery off this ship, but you realize, hey, I could fix this up.
Mm-hmm. I have a repair kit.
Yeah. I have a repair kit and extra credits I will need to spend.
King, can I observe a person and roll sharp and see how bad Cam's beat about?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, 8 minus 1, so 7.
You know that Cam has some broken ribs, but you don't know the severity of the internal injuries beyond that. You could probably get him to the back where you're pretty sure you have some low end back there from you buying the vehicle, but it's all non-pressurized and has no oxygen because you had to close the area off to prevent the fire from spreading. And you're not sure how much damage the fire did. You know, it wasn't terrible, catastrophic damage, but it did damage.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna kind of help him up gingerly and give him the old bounty hunter hug and hit him with a little stimmy in the back. That's all right, buddy. Yeah.
Cam, you know you're hurt. You're hurt. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm hurt real bad. But you don't feel too bad anymore. You feel, in fact, you feel pretty good.
I can go run around outside. It'd be great.
It'd be great. Everything's great. So the question is to the crew of the Dolores 2, what are you doing?
I'm going to assess for what fire damage occurred.
As you're going to re-oxygenate that area in the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to check for damage, and I also want to check to see what kind of, aside from my repair kit, what kind of repair stock might be on board to see if we can at least fix the hyperdrive.
You know you don't have any supplies because you got this was basically completely as is right off the back of the truck.
Okay.
But you think you have enough that you can limp along once you find a port, but it's going to be at sub-light speed, and you don't have any idea how long that's going to take you.
Well, 2R1 is doing that. If the back has been repressurized, but it's still like non-grav, I'm going to go and see if I can retrieve the low-grade back to pack.
It's there. You can get it. It doesn't look in the best shape.
Okay.
But you know,
Does the ship have
what has that stopped you guys before?
Yeah.
Does the ship have a med bay?
Yes, it does. That's where your very minuscule back to supply was.
All right, so it's all back to there. Well, if it's 0G but it's reoxygenated, I will bring Cam back there and see what we can do for a little field dressing for what he's up to, and I'm sure that they've got maybe another stimmy back there. We can, if he's really feeling bad.
He's definitely feeling bad. I mean, he definitely is. He's in a lot of. He's in a lot of pain, but he knows less about it because he's been stabbed.
Yeah.
With a stem.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll bring him back there, and since the gravity's still off, we can just kind of float him so he doesn't have to put as much weight on it, which is good. Okay. So I'll tell 2R1 not to turn the gravity back on there, but please keep the oxygen.
Yeah, I feel great. It's like I'm floating back here.
You are definitely floating. Meanwhile, back in the escape pod, you come to, Honk. Wilbur is softly shaking you awake, and you're floating in your escape pod, and you can see most of the mine floating independently, and there is another escape pod that is literally rammed into it.
Oh my God. Toby. Gotta go get Toby. Gotta go get Toby. How do you steer this thing?
You have like little retro rockets. Your ship is not operable. It's a junk right now. It's just space junk.
Toby.
I try and pilot the pod over to the back to the mine.
You make your way over there, and you're able to kind of float next to some of the smaller debris, and the little searchlights come on, and you can actually do a little bit of looking.
All right.
Got Toby.
I'll roll some sharp here. See.
I roll sharp too.
10.
Yeah, you both can.
Okay. 12.
What did you get, Wilbur?
10.
You both look, and you see that 2OB is floating free of the armature that was keeping him in the ship. And he's got his one arm folded up against him, and he's almost kind of folded in on himself, and he's just slowly rotating in the cold vacuum of space. Honk, you also get a good look at the escape pod that hit you, as well as just a pure black sphere that's also wedged in the side of your ship. The escape pod is a like a lifeboat pod, and it's still active, and there's someone in there.
Sorry, could you say that again? It broke up a little bit. Yeah, the life pod.
So there's a lifeboat escape pod that is what wedged into your ship, and it's still activated. I mean, it's still working, and there's someone in there.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I thought it was oath. You're gonna kill me out here in space. We gotta go get Toby, and we gotta go see who's in that life pod.
All right.
Tutu is like, with what? There's no suit in here for us to go out there and do that.
I got a. Oh, he'll freeze though, right? Like, he's got a rebreather. Like, he can breathe.
There's no atmosphere. You'll freeze, and if you open.
Oh yeah, it's a
the
rebreather,
hatch
not
to
a
leave,
breather.
You'll kill all of us. Do you have any tools, anything in this escape pod?
He'll look through the like the aid kit that comes with it. There's got to be an aid kit. He's a medic.
You know what? Roll me just 2 dice. Don't add anything to it. We'll see if you've stashed away some things aboard.
Okay.
Inflatable right life raft.
Exactly.
11.
Yeah, you've got some odds and ends in here. You've got a decent amount.
Is there like he keeps most of his medical supplies on him because he doesn't have a infirmary. So would he have anything? It seems conceivable that he would have something like a futuristic oxygen tank, kind of like, you put it over your face.
Yeah.
And I got these. Does he think that they would let people breathe in space?
No, you know that ain't happening.
I'm grasping at the straws here. I don't know. Does he see anything that it seems like it would work for spacewalking?
No. I mean, you don't have anything that would work, but you do have tools. Tutu looks at your tools and goes, "We might be able to do something with this. This is kind of my area of expertise."
That's true. What? Yeah, you can have anything. You can have anything I got. What can you do? What can you? We got to get Toby.
I think I can make an armature to come out and grab him and pull him, but we can't get him inside the ship. Also, there's a person in that pod.
No, I know. Could you get the armature for the, like, could you get both of them with the, like, if they're in the pod, they're probably okay, right?
I mean,
or we could get them in here. Can you bring it over? Like, I
get them next to, yeah.
I can try. I mean,
will you please try?
Okay. He looks at Wilbur and he goes, I'm going to need some of those parts.
Which parts?
Your feet.
All right.
We can fix it later.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. I mean, and he also points out we probably also need to either put out a signal because we're floating in space dead, or we should try to use our short range scanner to find somewhere where we can land this thing, because eventually we are going to run out of air.
Sure. Well, no, we'll do that. Nice thing about my most recognizable signal in the whole galaxy. So,
does this have the same signal as what's left of that?
I mean, as long as we're near that, while we're doing all this,
that
maybe
thing
it'll
isn't
work.
that thing isn't putting out any signal. I hate to be the one to tell you, but your ship's scrap.
Really,
I know
it's really just shitting all over me today.
He puts his hands on your shoulders and goes, Doctor, I know this is like the worst of all scenarios, but you're alive. We can probably save 2OB. We might even be able to save this other person. If I do that, can you concentrate on trying to send a signal out so we can get some help of some type?
Sure. Yeah, I can try to figure that out. He'll start futzing with the pod to try to get a signal out there.
Wilbur, make me a cool.
Cool. All right.
Since you're watching someone cut off your brand new legs.
I mean, I should be.
It's a lot. You've lost. This will be the second set of legs that you've lost in 48 hours.
That is 11.
You're taking this frighteningly well, almost too well. As he uses a torch to cut him off.
Of course.
And he starts to put some parts together. He said, we can eject the armature. We are going to lose oxygen in order to operate this thing. Now, here's what I propose. You are far more adept at survival than any other life form I've seen. We only have 2 breathers. How long can you hold your breath in order to get a hold of 2OB?
I don't know what. Yeah.
I'll let you choose. You can either trust your instincts, you can act under fire, or you can try to reach out to the force.
Let's see.
Honk, why don't you give me a sharp to see what kind of signal you were able to produce?
Sure. I'm good at sharp. That was a good roll. 13.
You think that not only have you boosted your signal, but you've piggybacked on your normal signal. So at least it's going to be close to, it'll be kind of glitchy, but it's an emergency signal. And this is the best of all worlds you could have hoped to pull off. Wilbur, what do you want to do?
Trusting my instincts, I rolled a 10.
You're kind of like, you look at Tutu and you look at Honk and you say, I got this. So they are able to use kind of the eject chute to push the armature through. You're going to operate the armature. It's going to get real cold in here and you have very little air. So let's act under fire, baby. Give me a cool roll.
And that is another 10.
Wilbur, you start to feel like your skin just starting to bubble. And you just focus in and you lock down and you grab 2OB with the armature and pull it back and it attaches to the ship. The armature pulls back into the chute and you literally shake it off, and Tutu is like, you are the most indestructible thing I've ever seen. You know you've done some serious damage to your hands, but you know that like this is actually healable damage. Like you can get in the back dead and this is going to be okay.
Okay.
You're cold as hell. Meanwhile, back on the Dolores 2, what are you beautiful, beautiful boys doing?
Go ahead, too.
Would I be able, knowing that there was our ship and another that both probably dropped out of hyperspace, would I be able to calculate not necessarily where we are, but like the spread pattern of how we would have likely come out of hyperspace to set a direction to head back towards where we might think the mine is?
Make me an attuned check.
An attuned check. Okay. That would be an 8.
You're pretty sure you can get relatively close, like the same sector of space, but you don't have a Navicomputer to get there. And you also don't have any type of R2 to R5 unit to do those calculations for you. That's not what you're built for at all. But the good thing is your sensors are still active and you're getting a ping off of an incoming ship.
Okay. Like a rescue ping? Like a help me ping, or like a we're coming for you ping?
You see a ship flying non-casually in your general direction, speeding quickly. You get a comm message, and it's completely in droid. So none of the rest of them can understand it. You can.
Okay.
You are being alerted that you're about to become the property of the droid crush pirates of Bastoon.
I'm going to radio back to Rorku and Cam that they may want to go operate the turrets. And then I'm going to reply to the droid army, the droid pirates.
The droid crush pirates of Bastoon?
Yep. The very same. And I'm just going to be like, droid solidarity.
Give me that sweet, sweet seducing over the comm in your sweet, sweet droid language.
Is there a version in this game of inspiration?
No, there is not.
Well, then that did not work.
How bad was it?
It is like you bad.
That's no good.
I rolled a 3, but I'm -1 for seducing.
Ooh. The response you get in droid is your mother wears a restraining bolt. Prepare to be decommissioned. And they begin to fire.
So, was I able to get any healing
how much
in
time?
that brief time? All right.
All right.
Well,
All right, Cam. If we're gonna go out, we're gonna go out. I give him another big hug, and I just this time I hand him a stimmy and says, you know,
Every time you're hugging him, you're kind of also hurting him.
I know. Gotta keep the pain fresh. Gotta keep him awake. Can't have him falling asleep. I'm going to bring him to the rear turret and let him climb. I'm just gonna kind of like get him up, and then like I'm gonna like put him on my shoulders and kind of climb underneath him so he can get up there. And then once he gets situated, I'll like skid down, and then I'll skid into the belly turret.
all right, I'm in.
2R is gonna radio back to the two, like, hold on to your butts, and he's gonna start some evasive piloting while putting things into the shields.
You're going to be -2, and it's not because of your piloting, it's because your ship is wrecked.
Okay.
So they come flying in, and you realize it's them and 2 fighters, which look to be kind of heavily modified CIS droid fighters.
Ooh, that's not good.
All right.
What-
Before I start firing, can I roll sharp to try to observe the fighters?
Yeah.
Seriously. All right. Well, that's a 5.
The fighters look to be extremely heavily modified fighters. You think they might both be super modified Hyena, CIS Hyena model bombers, but you're not sure because I can't think of the Star Wars term, but there's a term when they junk ships together.
Uglies.
Uglies. These are definitely uglies. They've got TIE fighter parts attached to them. They've got a turret on the bottom of them. One of them does. It looks like it's off of a Y-wing. It's a these are weird looking ships.
All right. Let's start bumping uglies. I'm going to fire at them. That is an 8.
You're able to get shots off, and you strafe one of them, causing it to peel off its attack and to circle far out because it's taking a little bit of damage, but not enough to destroy it.
Could I try picking that one up and roll hard to draw a bead on it?
Yeah, yes, definitely, of course.
God, why? The one thing I have like a great +2 and I roll like garbage. It's still a 9 because I have +3 to hard, but it's not great. I mean, 9's good, but it's not great.
9's, yeah, success with consequence. You pull the bead off the ship that Cam led, and you hit it, and you blow it up. And then you get rocked by 2 proton torpedoes from the other ugly hyena that drops them down on you. You do realize the large ship is an old BT-7 BT tank ship that's been heavily uglied. It's a beast.
Are there? I'm checking for asteroid fields. Anything that would serve as like interference, or are we just open space?
You're pretty much in open space. You do see a nearby moon to a gas giant that
I
you
don't think
could.
that's a moon.
That's not mine.
You could make a sprint for it, but you're really not sure if you'll make it.
Okay. In that case, I am going to go back to my Fast and Furious skills, and I'm going to try to power slide the freighter. So I'm not dropping the engines at all. I'm just doing that like hook spin to bring the front around so that I can use the forward-facing cannons to fire on the ship, while also like swinging wide of the front of it.
Okay. Makes sense. You're at a -2 on your roll.
Yep. So that will be that is going to be a, god damn it, math. Oh, this is easy math. God damn it. 12. It's a 12.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to pull that off with a plum, and able to do so in a way that you actually outdistance yourself away from them towards that moon.
And do I get any hits on them with the cannons?
Are you firing or
yeah? Because because the ship has the turrets, but it also has 2 forward-facing on each side. It has a forward-facing cannon on each side.
So describe to me again what you're doing so I can figure out how that's going to work.
Okay, so you know how like a car power slides through a turn where it does that big wide arc? I'm doing that to pull the front of the ship around to like face them, but while swinging wide in an arc, and then opening fire with the forward-facing cannons.
Yeah, you definitely ding up their primary ship pretty good. It's got pretty good shields, but you're able to, you've caused visible damage to it. And then like, as you do so, you just run right underneath them. So they're going to have to also turn around.
While doing this, I also want to radio them and say, your mother was a restraining bolt.
You get no response. But you might think that you've done enough damage to their ship, they may not be able to respond.
If that's the case, can Cam and I open fire?
You can now that you've turned.
Yeah. On that last fighter?
Yep.
All right. That's what I'm going to concentrate my fire on.
Got a 10.
Let's do this, baby. And I got a 10 as well.
You guys just decimate this fighter. I mean, you're able to both basically simultaneously destroy it. Nice. I mean, you fly through the floating atoms as you speed towards the uninhabited moon. As you're doing so, you hear your sublight engine hiccuping.
Okay.
2R15T. What do you want to do?
I'm going to drop speed and pull around back to their ship, and I'm going to fire upon it again.
So they're behind you, chugging along. You pulled away for them. You just want to drop out and try to get behind them?
Are we top gunning?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to top gun them? All right.
Yeah, like I gave, when the moon was far away, I gave up on the moon. Now my goal is, if we can take this ship out, we may have spare parts to fix Dolores.
Yeah, make your roll. That's a good plan.
Cam, all I could hear was the soundtrack to the childhood game Crossfire in my head.
Crossfire. I got caught up in it.
Crossfire.
It's going to be a 9.
You pull, and as you're pulling and they're passing, you both exchange fire and take damage. You do not destroy the ship. You know that you've damaged it, but your Dolores 2 has now taken some definite hits. You're sort of happy that they're droids because at least they're not using ion weapons, because the ship and you would be in trouble.
Can I radio to 2R and ask him how many droids we think are on that ship?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can talk freely.
I'm not. Can I scan to find out?
Yeah, you can definitely scan for bio readings.
All right, let's do that. Well, would I be able to scan to figure out how many droids are on the ship? Or would it only show life signs?
You can show life signs.
Okay, I'll still check for that.
It's a good-sized vessel.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like those things are like almost 100 meters long. They're not tiny.
Would this fall under sharp?
Yeah, let's call it sharp.
Okay, then that would be an 11.
You see 3 life forms.
Rorku, Cam, there are 3 life forms, and I don't know how many droids aboard the droid pirate Roberts.
Well, I think in addition to parts, they also have a better med bay than we do, which I think we're going to need sooner rather than later. Don't tell Cam.
Probably.
You know TR-15T that if it's a droid ship, they've cannibalized that med bay.
There's probably no med bay.
Yeah. There may have been one at one
droid
time, but yeah, that's a big ship for only 3 active life signs on board.
For now, just continue to unload fire on their ship.
All right. Well, I'm going to shoot again then. We're playing party, and I'm on the dorsal. I'm going to... it's another 10.
13.
Oh, look at the big guns on Cam.
You caused some significant damage, and they pull after that last shot, and they limp off into hyperspace.
Get him going on that spacer speed, and he just...
Scan for me again, TR-15T.
Okay. Not as good. That would be a 7.
Something's wrong about this. They jumped, but there's something left in the wake of the jump.
I'm going to steer us. Like, I'm not going to push Dolores X, but I am going to take us towards the moon and away from this area.
Make me a piloting check at that -2, please.
Oh, that's not good. That would be a 4.
That's when the sonic depth charge goes off. And Dolores is now almost spinning. And you're headed towards that moon a lot faster than you want to be. Also completely out of control. I need you to give me the best piloting check you've ever made. -3 this time, because the ship's even more damaged.
Okay.
Now, does anyone want to help with this roll?
Hey, Cam, how many escape pods do we have? Yeah, I mean, I'll do anything that I can to do this.
If you want help, here's what we're going to do. I'll let one of them roll 1 6-sided dice, and if it's better than either of your 2, you can trade it out. Actually, I'll let them both help. They can both roll 1 6-sided dice, and you can mix and match the best 2 dice out of the 4 of them. Does
yes,
that work?
please. Yeah.
Sounds good. They're also at -3 because it's the ship, not them.
All right. I nated it, so it's a -2 for me.
Oh, I beat you. -1.
It's all up to you, TR-15T.
Well, then it's a it's a 5.
You crash on that moon.
Any landing you can not blow up from.
And as you're crashing, you see that that your new friends have jumped back in the system.
That's unfortunate. Turn on the cloak.
The droid crushed pirates of Bastoon, they're coming for you. All right, meanwhile, back in the escape pod. This may be 4-parter if you guys are 5-parter if you live at this rate.
I don't know where
Just
living.
keep on playing because this is getting ugly now.
This is going to turn into Stardew Valley when we open up a little farming commune on the moon.
Live out our days. Merry droids. Beautiful life.
I'm so
Next
tired of
week
working
on
for
Moon
Joja
Valley.
Company.
Utini, am I right?
Hey guys, am I right?
It's Harvest Moon like you've never seen it before.
Something like you've never seen it before.
Something.
All right. So you are able to get to be attached to the vessel, so it's not going anywhere. But what's your next step?
I hope something comes. Is there anything like where we could land visible from here?
Yeah.
No, but you know that you've got enough power to push further. You just don't know for how long.
We got a
Are
signal
you going to leave the escape pod?
Yeah, that's a good. Can we communicate with the escape pod at all?
Not currently.
You should go over to it. You pilot over there?
Yeah, you pilot, pretty easily because it's like just dead space. You're able to kind of pilot yourselves over there, and you can look down, and there is a person in this escape pod.
Does the person look to be alive?
The readout on the side shows that they have life signs.
Okay, but they're like in stasis, or they're in a coma or something. Are they not moving? Like, can we not see them in? Like, I thought we could see them. Are they moving?
You can see a shape in there.
Okay.
But as far as are they moving around, no. Why don't you read a stitch for me?
Sure. 9.
This is an old pod. What'd you get, Wilbur?
Not that.
Okay. This is an old pod. Like, this is a pod old enough you're not overly familiar with it. This looks like Old Republic era.
This is real. Well, there might be. This could be a mummy for all we know.
You are getting a life signs. Tutu says, "I don't think it's a mummy." Not that I know what a mummy is, but that's alive. Whatever's there.
Well, here we are in the wonders of space. You know, maybe have a sense of curiosity.
Do you know why people? There's usually only a few reasons why pods are in hyperspace. Desperate measures, like either this, I'm going to die, or punishment. It's like the worst thing you can do to somebody is you put them in an escape pod and dump them in hyperspace where they slowly die or go crazy. So this is old. This pod is old.
Yeah, no, this person must have been out here for a long time, and they're either like.
How are they still alive? Because that
know.
thing is old enough that they should have ran out of oxygen a long time ago.
They didn't. Maybe they juiced it up, you know. Or maybe they got shot out of maybe it was like they used an old pod, you know, as part of the punishment or something. I don't know. Maybe it's like a collectibles guy whose vintage sellback rate was too low, and his customers got mad. Shot him into space in one of his old ass rescue pods. I don't know.
Okay, that seems.
I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying, like, since we. But so you're saying what this could be? This could be like a very well.
You're a doctor, right?
Yeah, I'm a doctor. No, I'm a medic. I'm a medic. I'm not a doctor.
But the life signs are correct that it's alive, right?
Yes.
I'm a modder. That's best of my knowledge, that's from a Valor class cruiser. That's an Old Republic ship. Those things have been decommissioned for 15 years minimum. No one's got the Empire took those and scrapped them.
Yeah, well, I'm a Jawa. I mean, like, we make stuff out of scraps all the time. Other people's garbage, people throw all kinds of things away, and there's still good pots in there. So, I don't know. You're probably right, though.
What I'm saying is, I want to know what that is.
Yeah, it's a space. Well, we should probably find out, because it's either probably, like you said, it's some heroic person that the corrupt government didn't like, or it's somebody like one of these assholes.
They both turn and look right at you, Wilbur, at the same time, and at the same time, Tutu goes, "There's only one of us that can reach that with the claw." You want to do it again?
How am I feeling?
You got a wound.
We'll say that, like, Honk has, like, done some first aid type medic stuff to Wilbur as thanks.
Stemmed him up. Just stemmed him up to beat the whatever that thing.
You ain't gonna be feeling nothing but good for the next couple hours, my friend.
Or I'm gonna try this again, and this time I'm gonna
I both want you to make me to both read a stitch. A stitch. I'm sorry. Did I say a stitch? Read a stitch.
That's a 9 for me.
That is a 8 for me.
You both notice as you're
technically, I should be taking -2 to my roll because I suffered wounds. Hey,
so 6,
and I'm unstoppable. No, I think it's whatever my. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense then. No, it should be a benefit to me, I think. No.
You took 1 wound, so you'd have to choose 1 debility.
Well, I've got unstoppable as a skill or as a move, which is -2. Take -2 to my roll when I suffer wounds.
Yeah, and suffer wounds is at the end.
Oh, so I'm not there yet. All right, never mind.
So yeah, you got a 7.
I got a 6. 8.
Okay.
8.
8. You both kind of hear a noise, and you look over, and Tutu is like, "Whoa, oh, okay."
You all right?
Yeah, I'm great. Everything's fun, wonderful. Everything's going to be fantastic. I feel really good about our chances right now.
You high right now?
I don't know what that means. I'm just really, really positive about the direction things are going in.
Like chemically, or
maybe.
Yeah, I'm not judging
Honk,
you.
You look down. You're missing 1 stem pack.
Okay, well, that was stealing.
I may or may not have had a problem in the past that may be resurfacing under the duress I'm going through right now. You kidnapped me, and I'm dying in space.
Yeah, no, okay. Hey, whoa.
No, I'm good. Everything's great.
Oh, yeah, no, we're great. It's great. A little bit.
Wilbur is gonna get the claw. He's gonna do his thing. He's gonna survive the deadly vacuum of space, and he's gonna pull that thing over here. And yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Things will be great. Everything's good. Just great.
The portals on our pods so they're like together, so I don't have to go into space.
Yes. You know what? That's great thinking. I will give you a +2 on your roll.
All right. What? Well, let's see here. Guess that's going to be probably cool.
Cool.
Oh, hey. All right. That is a 13.
You pull it together so it's, will that be perpendicular? So the top slot of the pod is now locked to the life pod is locked to the escape hatch. And wild-eyed Tutu says, "Should we open it? Like, that person's body can fit through that thing if we move the armature, and then we could pull him out of there. I mean, come on.
Normally
we could do it. We could totally save this person. I mean, don't you want to see who they are? Don't you want to see what's going on? Aren't you at least inquisitive about who the last person will see in the universe before we die of a lack of oxygen?"
Normally I'm pretty risk averse, but at this point it's kind of like fuck it. You know what I mean? Like sure.
Yeah. Let's
Cool.
Let's do it.
Fires up the torch, crawls in there, and starts burning a hole through the top of it.
Okay, the burning
Is this how you do it?
It is now. You hear a.
I'm gonna
smell of
the opportunity to hide any other stims that might be.
Okay. The stalest air you've ever smelled hits you. There's a dude in here.
Yeah.
But they're like, I'm not our doctor. I mean, or a medic. So he climbs out and he goes, "Okay, it's your turn."
Okay, yeah, I'll go
and
look.
He starts taking the armature apart and trying to figure out how he's going to turn it back into legs.
Appreciated.
There is literally a lifetime of farts in there. It's like sitting next to the Wheeler Boys on a couch.
Wow.
Hey, I'm not the one who pounds those farts into couches.
Oh, aren't you?
No, not as often. I'm not known for it like you and your brother are. Mainly your brother, but you guys have a rep for it.
Well, I'm coming on over to your house on Saturday. I'm bringing hell with me then.
Oh, God damn it. All right. In space, no one can hear who smelt it. Nice. Are you going to pull him out, Honk?
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten this far.
You pull out a robed figure who looks like Rumpelstiltskin in the fact that they've got hair down to their waist. Their fingernails are super long.
Okay. I mean, I'll like get him into the safety of the pod, relative safety of the pod.
They're alive, but their actual life signs are so slow, almost non-existent. You think without the actual sensors on the pod, you would have thought they were dead.
I knew Mace Windu survived.
My life pod's the one that says "bad motherfucker" on it.
Yeah, I mean, Honk will start working on the.
Do your thing. It'd be maybe nice if we had a stem, but I feel like those are all gone.
I mean, it's
Sims?
nope.
Just one more dart, baby.
No, I'm low. I'm low.
Get in them stim packs.
I'm low on everything. He'll just start
As
working.
You guys are doing that, Tutu crawls into the lifeboat pod that's attached and just starts rooting around in there.
All right.
Okay.
There might be some stuff in here.
All right. Okay.
It smells real bad.
Yeah, I mean, lifetime thoughts in there.
Smells like wet bantha shed dings.
All right.
Hair?
Sure.
I need another stem pack so bad.
Nope.
I'm coming down, man.
No.
I would like Honk for you to trust your instincts.
Okay.
Medically.
Sure.
But not as a doctor, as a medic.
Wait, what?
But not as a doctor, as a medic.
As a medic.
I thought you were telling me earlier you were a doctor, and now you're like, no, I'm a medic. I'm not a doctor.
Like situationally, it's situationally dependent. I'm not like officially certified, but you know, like some people that are just good at their craft, like better than doctors. But like technically, I don't got the piece of paper. You know what I mean?
Some people get all their facts.
Sure, I learned on the streets. Or I guess in the dunes. All right, 11.
He learned a doctor on the dune seas of Tatooine. Left a doctor on the dune seas of Tatooine. You got an 11? Their eyes kind of flutter and open.
Hello.
And you're, what do we have here? I figured the afterlife would be far different from this.
Oh no, this isn't the afterlife. This is the same old crap life you lived a lot of years ago. Maybe worse now.
Can I see one of your tools?
Why?
He holds up his giant fingernail hands, like the curly fingernails.
Oh no, I'm a medic. I'll do that for you for free.
So you just take a little vibro blade and pop him off, and then he asks if he can have it. And he shaves off his just massive beard.
Sure. Yeah, you can get cleaned up.
Do you have any food? I haven't eaten in. What year is it?
What year is it? I don't know.
It would be 7 years before Yavin. I can't remember how that. BBY is after Yavin. No, BBY is before the Battle of Yavin. So it'd be like 7 BBY.
It's like 7 BBY, baby.
Oh.
That
I'm going to need a moment. Meanwhile, back on the crash of the Dolores 2.
Did we crash on our belly? How did we crash?
I'm gonna say yes. You crashed on the belly. Who was in the? Wasn't there a lower turret? Why don't you tell me how you got out of that situation and roll me a couple dice?
I'm gonna say when I saw us coming in, I just like grabbed the kind of poles of the ladder and hit my jetpack, just like popped it real quick to like try to get out from.
No roll needed. No roll needed. TR15T, make me a flat roll, no pluses, no minuses, please.
7.
This is bad, but it could have been worse. Your hull is not irreparably damaged. The turret is not. Neither of the turrets are irreparably damaged. But you need parts and you need help right away because this is not going to remain a feasible environment for your 2 organic allies. I mean, you'll be fine. They will perish.
Yeah.
Also, the droids are headed this way.
Is their ship like limping along? Like they're not
moving full speed, but they're moving.
Yeah.
Can I still fire on them?
Yeah, you could. You'll give away your position.
All right, then I'll wait till they get closer.
Because right now you're, read me a stitch. Any of you can do it.
Oh, this was apparently my time. That is a 13. I rolled double 6s.
You look and you expect them, Cam, to be bearing down on you, but they're not. Their scanners must be damaged because they're not finding you. They're headed in such a pattern that it looks like they're going to do a flyover rather than bearing down to attack. Like they're looking for you, but they don't have the sensor array to find you.
All right, 2R, I think you blew up their sensors. They're not seeing us.
Okay. I rolled a 10 for read the sitch, which I want to use to figure out, like, could I get sublight back up, and is there any section of the hull where the organics could survive if we got airborne again?
And you got a 10, right?
Yep.
You would have to cannibalize some parts. but you could, and you know that you can reroute life support into one portion of the ship and then lock that part down.
Okay.
You don't know how long that would feasibly last if you're forced to sublight for a really long time, but it would, you could do it for some time.
Okay. And about how long would it take me to rig all that up and get that? Like, are we talking?
With help, it'll take you about a day.
Okay.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to our cargo bay and get a helmet, like a fighter helmet, to put on in case I lose air pressure.
Their flight suits back there. They won't.
Well, I still have my flight suit on from.
Yeah, they
when I
won't
was in my
fully.
fighter.
Yeah, they won't fully protect you, but they'll give you a little bit more protection than just regular clothes. Also, you know that this moon didn't have atmosphere per se, but do you want to scan to see if it has any form of atmosphere? It might just be a light atmosphere moon.
Yeah, I'll when I get to the cargo bay, I'll use the cargo bay sensor, right, to make a scan and see what we got going on out there. Does that read a sitch?
Yep.
Okay. 8.
Sensors are a little bit shoddy just from the beating the ship's taken, but it appears that this moon does have some atmosphere, just not a ton.
Okay.
If you went out there without equipment on, you wouldn't last very long at all. Going out with equipment on, you'll last a while.
Okay. I'm going to swap out my fighter flight suit for one of the heavier suits, so I can lock a helmet in just in case we need to turn off the atmosphere in this part of it. And then I can't really see them, but I'm thinking that could I read a sitch and try to assess whether opening the cargo door would, because it's on the bottom, if that would be visible from above. I'm
going to say that's an attuned roll.
Okay.
That's more trusting your instincts rather than trying to.
Perfect. Okay, so a 9.
They wouldn't be able to see that because they can't see you at all. If I'm assuming 2R15T are telling everybody this information.
Yep.
Yeah, we have our comms on.
Yeah, they're not able to see you currently. For whatever reason, they're just not picking you up. Their scan array must be just destroyed.
All right, here we go. Switch the fight suit. Scanned. Open the cargo door. I'm going to use my whip cord that I have on my belt, and I'm going to fasten it around the stay on the end of the gangplank, and then reattach to my belt. And I'm going to walk out, still in the shadow of the ship, and use my sporting blaster rifle to see if I can see kind of what their ship looks like, and scan for any parts of it that I can see that might be vulnerable if I can get a good shot off.
That's a long shot with that weapon.
Yeah, I'm just using my scope to see what it looks like. If they get close, I want to be able to know where I need to shoot.
Their ship's real scuffed up.
Okay.
Where their array should be, their sensory array, it's not. There's nothing there. There's
all good Star Wars ships.
Yeah, there is a blackened pockmark on the ship where that was.
Okay.
One of their weapons is definitely destroyed. But otherwise, it's limping along. I mean, it's not moving quickly.
Okay.
Maybe they're definitely on satellite engines.
Okay.
But they have hyperdrive.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a big ship on top of that.
I know. Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna like as I'm following this thing, I'm just calling out what I'm seeing to Cam and to R.
The other thing you do notice is the debris from your fight got caught in the atmosphere, the orbital pull of the moon, and there's just a debris field both a little bit above where you guys are, like kind of floating, and then there's a bunch of debris on the actual moon.
Oh, excellent. Anything that looks useful?
Hard to tell from here. I don't think you're a mechanic by heart or trade. No. But there's parts. You can look at that across and go, oh, them's their parts.
Okay, so
there be parts on that there moon.
I'm gonna kind of relay that and say that
I'm assuming to TR15T you've turned systems down to a bare minimum to conserve power.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my thought. I have my jetpack, and if I could get to that outer rim of floating debris,
you could. You're sure you can.
Without being seen, that's a little dicey. But I'm a tiny guy, and that's a lot of stuff.
You do know as well that they're not reading sensor array. Their sensor array doesn't exist right now, so you don't think you'd want to be very close because that's long-range sensor or mid-range sensor.
Yeah.
But if you're like right next to the ship, they're probably going to read you there.
Yeah. No, but I'm thinking if I could get up there, then I could relay a little bit more information. And if they got close, I might be able to either sneak on and plant a charge or be able to, I don't know.
Your call, man. What do you want to do?
I can see what's up there, and that's maybe better than us sticking around here. And you could shut down more of the ship to conserve power and get going on that. So, all right, I'm going to wait until they make their pass.
They make their pass.
Okay, so I'm going to loose my my whipcord, and I'm going to use just my. I'm not going to use like the jet part, but I'll use the
the burst,
the space,
Wubba.
Yeah, but
the Jetson mode.
Yeah, the Jetsons mode. So I'm gonna his boy Elroy up to the floating.
You fly up in the debris field, and as you're getting up there, you realize just how much debris is up there from the two Hyena bombers.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 2 full fighters with the debris, as well as some of the damage from your ship, their ship, and there's just other debris up here. You can see from here, you can see Russia.
Nice.
From here, you can see across to the gas giant that this moon orbits, and there is a massive debris field. Like something must have went down here.
Okay. Can I read a sitch or trust my instincts to see if I can identify any ordnance that's out here?
Yeah.
All right. That's hot garbage. 7.
Well, you don't see any ordnance, but you do see 3 circular balls drifting and then hitting into debris and then latching on little arms and legs and chopper parts coming out and tearing down pieces.
Oh, are these like scavenger droids or mining scavengers?
Scavenger droids.
Fudge.
And that's when all their lights go from green to red and their top turrets turn right at you. And they start crawling across like mechanical spiders right towards your position. I was going
to say, does the ship notice them or just those scavengers?
The ship doesn't notice them yet.
All right. When the ship starts making moves, I want to fire on it.
Okay, perfect. And you've got a better chance because you're getting a closer read with no problems because Rorku is up there. Before we switch to the other vessel, 2R15T, is there anything else you want to be doing?
I'm going to start on the sublight repairs.
Okay. Do you want to go at a pace where you know it'll be right, but it'll take more time? Or do you want to step on the gas?
Since I know it will take at least a day with help, I know that there's no 10-minute fix. So I'm not rushing it. I'm doing it right.
Okay, perfect. Then you don't even need to roll. You are doing a magnificent job. You're taking parts, reworking things. You're cutting from where you know you don't absolutely need to better what you absolutely are going to need to get going again. Back in the escape pod, Wilbur, Honk, what are you doing?
He'll Honk is gonna ask this guy who he is.
Yeah, what's he up to?
Are you merchants of some type? Are you who are you?
I mean, I asked you first.
You did.
This is my escape pod.
Very rude of me. Apologies. He kind of takes a deep breath as if he's trying to kind of reorient himself to talking to humans. My name is Noel Yanich. Jedi Knight of the Republic.
Wait, what?
All right.
That seems to be surprising to you. I'm
Yeah.
concerned that means that there is serious information I'm no longer aware of.
Yeah, things have changed a lot for the Jedi, and
Things were already changing.
right, there's no Jedi.
The order has changed, like it was changing during the war. So they've become something else, but there's still an order.
No.
Where's the council?
I mean, I'm not. I think there was the ceremony with the lightsabers and the burning. I think
he takes a deep breath and he puts his hand out, and you see he's got like a purple tinted skin with kind of these red designs into it. So he's a near human, but not quite human. And he goes as pale as purple can go. And he goes, I don't feel anything. There's just a void. Where are the Jedi? What?
They wiped out. I think there's
the CIS. The Confederates won.
No. The Empire.
I don't. What?
The clones. I think it was the clones. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't there. This is what I've heard, but yeah, you don't see Jedi anymore, and when you do, they tend not to be alive for long. But I've never met a Jedi. Now,
I mean, yeah, the present company excluded.
I knew the war was wrong, and I knew it was wrong, and I said I wanted no part of it, and this is where I ended up. And now I'm brought back, and they're all gone.
Yeah, what happened? How did you end up there in that?
I did my duty, and the attachment I was assigned, they followed their orders, not mine, and did something I found distasteful. I voiced my displeasure vociferously, and I demanded the path of denial, to leave the service of the Jedi and walk my own way. It was the second year of the war. The commanding officer of the military deemed it a treasonous act, and I was sentenced to hyperspace. For my refusal to continue a war I don't believe in. And I would not commit atrocities for anyone or anything.
Oh. Wow.
They're all dead?
As far as I know.
That's what they say.
I've told you who I am. Who are you?
I'm bounty.
My name is Tutu! Climbs out, he's wiping his hands off. Tutu Plim. Are you on drugs?
Stole a stim pack off my bandolier here.
Just a little, yeah.
Ah.
Well, my name's Honk. I'm a medic. I sell meat on the side, and I think my ship hit your pod. So
I have you to thank for saving me.
Yeah, it's all sort of a wash at this point, I think.
I'm in your debt.
Sure. Sorry, my friend Toby is in a lot of trouble right now. He's currently attached to the side of this escape pod.
Well, our situation looks to be not the best.
No, it's pretty rough. We don't know where we are. What you see here.
I wouldn't know either, but let me your problems are now my problems. Let me see what I can do to help. Okay. He sits down, cross-legged, and goes into a meditative trance. Tutu climbs out and pulls out like a small pack, and it's got a data pad. It's got a small hand blaster. It's got a comm link. It's got some very, very, very old rations in it. It's like, look what I found. We got stuff to eat until we decide to shoot one another as we die of, what is that asshole doing?
He's doing important Jedi things.
What?
No, I mean, that's what I said. You would have heard me if you weren't tweaking so hard.
I'm thinking right now you're tweaking so hard because the Jedi are dead.
I mean, I guess not. That's why this pod's so old.
We don't know if he is. But he says he is. I'm inclined to believe him.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm inclined to believe I'm on the biggest trip of all time, falling off of the speeder by coming with you and pretty much flying to my death for a job I haven't even been paid for, and then falling and getting back into abusing.
Look.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
it's
it's
coming down.
Talk to my
got it all around. Yeah. You still got legs.
There you go.
Fair. You know what? Fair, man. Fair. Let's get to work on your legs. And he immediately just shuts up and goes back to work on fixing you. What do you want to do, Honk? What do you want to do, Honk?
All right, so the Jedi is meditating. The legs are getting put back on. Honk is gonna check and see if there's any. He hasn't been paying attention to this signal thing. Maybe there's a little ping back or something.
There you go.
Let's see if there's any activity.
You do get a ping. You get a very, very, very slight, like a beacon ping. So at the very least, you know that there's a beacon close.
Right? There's something out there. That's something.
Wow. You know the beacon, it might have just been put there by another ship or vessel, or it might be an old beacon, but a beacon nonetheless can amplify or even help you find some potential help.
I think Honk will start piloting toward this beacon.
You get to the beacon and you realize it's bumping an Imperial signal. Now, you also know you have no issues with the Empire.
I don't either. Well, no, no. Yeah.
You, on the other hand, have some issues with the Empire.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't actually, their person.
This feels like bad news all around, right? Because like the Empire
they don't like the Jedi.
Like they mess you up, and they'd really mess a new Jedi friend up, right? And they probably don't like drug use. I imagine.
Noel opens his eyes, and he gives you a set of coordinates.
Yeah, I'll go toward those instead. That sounds good.
He watches you pass the beacon, and he looks at you and says, "You could have called for help with that."
I don't know what I'm doing out here, man. Just a medic who sells meat on the side. I want to fix my robot.
Then let's fix your robot.
Okay.
There is as you're kind of pushing it and you're recognizing, like, fuel is at a premium. Wilbur, your legs are back. And they're actually pretty good. This guy was able to pull some pieces out of everywhere to kind of go from that more of that, like the bare bones version, to actually arming them up with some basic parts, like giving them kind of more shape and form rather than like a skeletal frame.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
As you're running on the last of your power, you see a space station. Just a floating orbital dock.
What do you say? This is probably our last chance. We just put it towards that and hope we drift the right way the rest of the way.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
There's no one alive on that.
Well, okay, good. Then we don't have to kidnap anybody else.
Kidnapping?
Look,
Are you kidnapping me?
No.
And I just didn't know it the whole time?
No. No, it's a whole thing. Maybe when we are less in imminent peril, we can exchange stories. But
that's fair.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's good. Let's get a little bit better than this pod here, all right?
You were able to scan this place, and it does have minimal life support, but it is dead. It's an abandoned station. Right, Wilbur, you're relatively comfortable with these because you've been living on them for about 6 months. So also you did lose your legs on one, so
yeah,
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. You dock in, you kind of float in past the atmospheric barrier, and the low gravity brings you down to a actually pretty soft landing, and not on top of 20B.
Hey,
nice.
All right.
Got that going for you. You're the boss. How do you want to proceed?
I want to get out and check on. I mean, Honk will like get right out and check on Toby. That's kind of he's sort of single focused at the moment, but
you're like working 2OB over, trying to, and you feel a shaky hand on your shoulder, and Tutu says, "I'll fix him." Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And then he kind of grabs you by your lapels and he goes, "Just keep the stems away. Please. Please."
I don't know. Is there like a Star Wars equivalent of like Narcan? You can like, kill the craving a little bit. Kill the craving a little bit. So that okay.
I'm sure you can come up with something. You're smart.
Sure.
You're a smart Jawa.
I'm a medic.
You're a medic.
He says like, sure. Yeah, we'll make sure we're all okay. Okay. We got to be okay before we can make sure we're all okay. I think that's how it works. That's the order of operations here. He'll start moving Toby toward like something interior.
You come to there is a sealed door on each side of this kind of open front, and where you came in and the other side is also open, and they're just covered with these atmospheric shields.
Yeah, he'll duck in there.
You want to open the left or the right?
The left.
Okay, you're able to open it, and again, it's that smell of stale air. No one's been here for a while. The auxiliary power, the lighting's really low and flickering. The atmospheric processors have not been running, so it's kind of gross.
I don't know. For a Jawa, this isn't that ambience, honestly.
But it is for the mere fact of if you stop working, you're dead.
Yeah, that's not comforting, but I guess it's better than an escape pod. Maybe, I don't know. He'll start looking around for like a safer place or a place that some work can get done, or maybe there's some communication stuff. But no, he's focused on Toby, so he's like, all right, this is what we got to do. We got to get set up, and it's got to be a place where we don't die. So let's look for that.
Okay. Yeah. You make your way to what looks like a sensor array room.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a small cell block there. It looks like something went down in here.
I'm going to ask the Jedi, do you know this place?
No.
How did you...
I've never seen this. I felt something and it drew me here. It was the only thing I felt.
Good, bad, just something?
Conflicted.
Okay.
I've been feeling conflicted a lot lately. This is probably apropos for the situation.
Well, first things first, I think we can start to get most of life support kicked on full blast from this room.
All right. Sure. Tell me how to do it. I don't know. Well, actually, he probably kind of knows how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, between the three of you, you can figure it out. So you start working on that. Meanwhile, back with our Crash Boys. What are you doing?
While working on the sublights, 2R has been running like other scenarios and possible solutions to our current predicament, and has had a notion of, would it be possible to take our tractor beam mechanics, remove them from the ship, and re-rig them so that instead of being like a tractor beam of other ships, that it would make a narrow tether to pull that assembly towards a ship, and then rig up the rest of it to be like a gravity bomb.
What are you wanting to pull with it?
So it would pull itself towards the enemy ship. So rather than trying to pull the enemy ship, it would be more like a tether that would wind itself in.
So what you know is your tractor beam is shot. However, you're pretty sure you can jury rig it into a one-use gravity well, basic interdiction bomb. Getting it up into atmosphere, though, it's not going to do it on its own. You're going to have to use something to get it up there.
To propel it. Okay.
Rorku, what are you doing? These robots are coming for you.
I
Oh
am.
Lord, they're coming.
I am taking out my blaster rifle, my rifle, and I'm drawing a bead on these guys. And I'm going to wait until I can get a good shot off, and I'm going to try taking 3 shots and try to get all 3 of them.
All right, do it up, son.
Okie dokie.
Don't miss.
Don't aim to. How about 9 plus 3, 12?
Ping, ping, ping. Easy.
Easy.
You're able to do this without a problem. The only concern you have is the larger form that's come over, it's working its way behind debris towards you, that looks to be about the size of an Imperial probe droid.
Mother trucker. Imperials too?
Looks to be about the size of.
Okay. I want to read the sitch and see if I can find something I could essentially use as a shield. Like that I could like hide behind. Something big enough that I could use my jetpack to like move like I'm essentially.
Go ahead. You can only look, but if you get the roll, you can do it.
Okay. Heyo. Well, not super heyo. How about a 8-0?
You see a part of the hull of one of those hyena bombers, and you kind of pop yourself over behind it, but by the time you get there, you know that droid spotted you, but it doesn't have a bead on you anymore. It just knows the area you're in.
Okay. I think that if I can kind of keep a bead on it, I'm going to just try to maneuver myself gently into a position where I could get a shot off. So I'll kind of drift.
You drift and you curl around the corner to get your bead, and you don't see it.
That's not good.
Cam, are you still keeping an eye on Rorku?
I was watching the ship.
Okay, the ship has turned and is making another pass.
But it doesn't seem like it sees us.
It's dropping low in probes.
Oh, that's not good.
Which you're pretty sure are scavenger droids.
And if I use comms to Rorku, they're probably going to detect that.
You're not sure on that. I'm giving you guys the benefit of the doubt that you use a modulating signal. Now, after you got burned before with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, after that one time.
Mm-hmm.
And that
You
other
would
time.
never make the same mistake
4 times.
4 times.
Exactly.
And they don't have a sensor array, so they shouldn't be able to scan for life forms that far away. Correct?
Shouldn't be able to. Read the sitch for me, Cam.
Well, bound to happen. That is 5.
This is
You say
odd.
bound to happen like you haven't been rolling battle.
You're not sure.
I rolled better.
You're not at all sure why they're dropping these. And then you get a good look at them, and they are scavenger droids, and they are cutting up the pieces of debris near the ship, and they're headed towards your ship. They may not even know it's your ship right now, but they're gonna take it apart.
How many are there?
You can see 4.
Are they clustered together? Like I get with one shot?
No. They're milling about like, and they're not all uniform. These look like they have been modified.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to. So if I fire at them with the ship's cannon, they're definitely going to see us.
They're going to see something.
Yeah.
And so will you.
Right. All right, I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to fire at the ship. Try to hopefully disable it before I have to fire on the little scavengers. Yeah.
You're going all out.
I mean,
all right.
If any fire, they're going to know, so I may as well hit them.
Yep.
All right, so that is 6 on the dice plus 2 is 8.
You peel up from the robot, from the scuttling little scavenger bots, point up towards the main ship. You wait for it to fly just over, and you strafe its belly. And you see massive explosions. Unfortunately, the ship's wrecked. Unfortunately, it's also coming down on top of you.
Great. If that's the case, I'm going to get out of dodge.
Yeah, it's not falling fast because the gravity is not great. But it's falling. You're watching your slow death descend.
Is there time
You
to
are
shoot?
1-5T. You heard the ship's cannons go off. Yes, exactly. It is the Austin Power Steamroller scene.
No.
What are you gonna do? Rorku, you just watched their ship go up. You're assuming that probe droid took off to see what happened because it doesn't make an appearance towards you, but you look away and down and you see their ship is going to land where your ship is.
Can I get there before that?
Probably not unless you fire full engines downward and fly through the debris of this burning ship.
I still have Cam and Piana on comms.
You mean TR-15T?
Yeah, we all know. I'm going to I've been radio silent. I'm going to pop my comms back on and let them know that like they need to get to the escape pod now.
TR, what are you doing?
I'm gonna see if I can
kicking off this hard proximity alert. Impact imminent.
Since I am in the engine room,
yep,
I'm not going to worry about the cockpit. I am going to see if I can get the engines to fire enough to move us out of the way.
Let's see it. Make that sweet, sweet beam footage roll.
Whew. It would be a 10.
You pop the engines, you skid across this moon, just scraping the hell out of the bottom of your ship. You're not sure whether or not the bottom turret made it or not, but frankly, you don't care because the rest of the ship does. As this other ship breaks apart around you and scuttles onto the face of the moon, you're now floating just in kind of the lack of atmosphere. You're now off the moon, but you're still basically in its pseudo orbit.
Okay. I'm going to cut the engines so we land softly back on the
You don't even have to land if you don't want to.
I'm okay with us being like stationary on the moon.
Does anyone want to inform TR-15T of things that are on the moon, on the surface of the moon?
Yeah. So I'll say there's scavenger droids on the moon as I fire upon them.
All right, let's roll. Rorku, what are you doing?
Ooh.
Things have happened very quickly.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a kind of visual assessment of whether that probe droid is still there. And if it isn't, then I'm going to use my jetpack to fly down and start picking these things off. Once I see Cam start popping,
make me that sitch.
So I got a dirty 12 on my hard roll.
You're just decimating these things. Droids are spilling out of the wreckage of this ship, and you're just like, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. How can you shoot innocent droids? You just don't have to lead them as much.
I rolled a 10, and I have a -1 to sharp.
You look again, you look up, you don't see anything. You pop a detonator, and you throw it as hard as you can. It just kind of tumbles. And then right when it pops, you kick your feet backwards off of this hull plating you were using as defense. And you tumble backwards, kick your jump pack on, and then turn yourself right so you're facing downwards. And now you can go hard as you want to go.
I'm going to go real hard. Hell yeah. Okay, 8 + 3, 11.
Between you and Cam operating a turret and you operating amazingly well with your rifle, as you always do, there aren't any more droids moving around down there.
Have I restored enough to the sublights that I could actually pilot the ship at this point?
Yeah. It would be probably a bad idea to do for a long period of time.
But I have some maneuverability and control. So I'm going to hustle my way back up to the...
You're worse off now than you were when you started the fight, though.
Yeah. I'm going to hustle my way back up to the deck so that I can pilot proper. And make sure that if there's anything heading our way, that I can do the best I can to be evasive.
You get your ship fully turned and facing, and it's just debris. There's just burning, or not even burning anymore, a floating hulk crashed into the side of this moon. Debris all around.
Can I scan to see if the same 3 life forms are still life forms?
There's no life form readings.
So there are no more droids.
You're not getting a read from anything.
Okay.
No motion detect, no nothing.
And their ship is on the moon.
Yeah, it's crashed.
Okay. I am going to, as gently as possible, set Dolores X down. Dolores XS down within like easy range so we can scavenge their ship for parts and get back to repairing.
Pop on the comms and say, field trip? Shopping episode!
Back on the abandoned station. After you get everything working, Honk and Wilbur, you both. You realize this is an abandoned Imperial installation. It's bare bones, though. Like, it was either in the process or it was stripped bare by someone.
Guess that explains the beacon out there.
This doesn't look like the Republic. Is this this empire you were speaking of?
Yeah, it looks like one of their deals. Brutalist.
I feel like I have to see what this pole is.
All right.
But only if you agree.
I mean, if it's a potential threat, I feel like we should probably at least make sure it's not.
We should do this together. We're all in this now. All helped each other out here. So I'm with you.
Tutu says, I'm going to stay right here and I'm going to finish fixing 2OB.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if I can take any more excitement.
Yeah, I mean, you've done a pretty good number on your ticker already with that stim pack, so you probably shouldn't
It's fair.
switch yourself too much. I mean, it's just this physiological effects that come with high end. It's a hard road, you know. I understand it. I empathize with you. It's just so I'll be careful out here, okay?
I am gonna fix 2OB.
Okay, thank you. I believe you. I'm sorry I kidnapped you in the hyperspace by accident.
He kind of looks back at you, and there's just the slightest grin on his face, and he says, "My life was pretty boring." Just kind of puts his head back down and starts getting back to work on 2OB.
Shit isn't now, huh? All right, let's go do this.
You make your way through. Installation is. You do see some bodies. You see some stormtroopers, and you take a minute to explain to Nall that those are not clone troopers, and explain to him like the Empire kind of decommissioned clones, which he just again is having a hard time understanding any of this. You don't see anyone else. You just see dead stormtroopers. You come to what looks like almost the center of the station, and there is a room that's a perfect cylinder with no discernible lock to get in or out, no discernible door. And he looks at both of you and said, "It's there."
Okay.
How are we gonna get in there?
He takes a deep breath and lights his lightsaber.
Oh shit, those are real.
Slides it in and just starts to work a circle around.
Oh,
That's
Honk
cool.
is fangirling so hard right now.
It takes him a good 15 minutes to cut all the way through. And when he pulls his blade out, this massive chunk of like 4 foot deep Durasteel falls.
Whoa.
And you look in, and there's just a purple light in the floor. And in the middle, there's just a what would that be, like a prism, a black and green prism floating in this purple light.
Does ring a bell to you?
Yeah.
Jedi guy? Huh?
It looks like a holocron. But it
What?
doesn't look like any holocron I've seen before.
What? Yeah. What's
What?
the holocron? They usually purple and
No.
floaty and.
But I feel something. I feel conflict.
Oh, okay.
Kind of looks
Like-
at both of you and he says, I'm going to grab it.
Okay.
All right.
He closes his eyes and he puts his hand out, and the prism shakes and pulls free of the light. And you see all of these laser beams inside the room go off, and he moves it through and he moves it out. He's holding it above his hand. It just floats there and slowly spins.
Some Mission Impossible shit.
I mean, I'd heard the stories, but okay. That's.
Wow.
Your comm goes off, Honk.
Okay. He'll answer it.
Doctor, we have found suitable transportation off of this station. I am mobile.
Is that Toby? Toby! Hey, buddy.
Doctor, you did a poor job following instructions earlier. I would reprimand you if I wasn't so happy that you were still functional.
There are
Thank you.
so
Coming back.
many. Buddy, Toby, there are so many legs on this outpost. Like,
I have been
endless
fitted with
supply.
2 new legs. My arm leaves something to be desired, but
Tom's too,
it's
man.
functional. We have found a Lambda class shuttle. Did you tell him about the speeder bikes? There are also personal transports above the Lambda.
Well, all right. All right. Noel, you feel okay with where you are right now, or do you need a little more time with whatever the fuck this is?
I think we should get out of here.
Let's do it.
Chances are,
All right.
if there is anyone, whether they be lost like I am, Jedi, if there are any left, or Sith, they would have felt this as well.
All right, let's go. Let's get out of here.
And I'm curious what killed all these troopers. As you guys are walking out, he bends over and he like moves like the blast area on it. Wilbur, you're there too. You want to give it a look. Observe a person. Give me a sharp. Be sharp.
That is an 8.
These weren't blasted. These were stabbed.
These bodies weren't shot like the rest. They were stabbed. Would I be able to draw
Noel looks at you and says, all of them were stabbed.
with like the
He looks at
lightsaber?
his lightsaber and puts it at his waist and he says something like that. We should leave.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go faster than we were going to go before.
You make
He's
it
like,
you make it back. You make it
It's
back
really
to the Lambda class, and you're getting it up and rolling. 2-2 and 2OB have been pushing crates of stuff onto the ship. Like everything that's not nailed down, they're taking. 2OB says, the ship is primed and ready to leave, Doctor. Our modder decided it was best if we resupplied. I do not know what these supplies are. However, we are taking them.
okay. He just kind of like, sidles over and like hugs Toby's leg. So glad you're back.
I
was so worried about you. We saved you from space.
I'm ecstatic to see you as well, Doctor. Thank you for coming back for me.
I can hear it in your voice. Yeah, let's take whatever we can get, but we got to go, like, because
we need. This
is Toby. This is probably the first Jedi you've ever met, right? So,
hello, Jedi. My name is 2OB. Jedi. That's an interesting name. I have not heard that before.
You know what? We'll let's get to know each other better on the ship. Okay, let's seriously get the fuck out of here right now.
Null pulls like an empty case and pushes the prism into it and closes it. And you all are boarding. Tutu takes the time to drag two last hover lifts worth of crap onto the ship, which is good because just as he does so and you start to lift off, a ship of unknown origin enters the system. And you can hear Tutu huffing and puffing, and Noel comes and puts his hand on the backrest of your seat, Honk, and says, "We need to leave." That is
gone. Yesterday, boom, goes. Not hyperspace.
Where are you going? Oh, not in hyperspace. 2OB says, "I can make calculation."
I can't remember if Honk also heard the anime Octopus Hollow transmission about the casino.
Yeah, no. I believe Honk. No, he didn't. That's right. Yeah.
No, okay. But I know about it.
Wilbur knows about it.
But
Wilbur still has access to Hollow, the AI AI Gamorrean that was sent by Alari Marin. You want to turn that on, you can, and Hollow can insert jump coordinates.
I guess we have no way of communicating with the rest of the crew, do we?
No. I don't know. I don't know where to go. We got to get you back to your criminals.
That thing is closing.
All right, yeah, go for it.
Hello, Wilbur. My name is Hollow.
Yes, cool. We need to go. We need coordinates.
Where are we going?
Somewhere safe.
Oh, Wilbur. Have you not completed your mission for Alari Marin yet?
Not yet, no. Let's
we should go
safe. We can talk about it.
To Ord Mantell. And her virtual hand goes over the nav computer portion in the front of the Lambda, and it lights up the coordinates. You are prepared to jump to hyperspace.
Oh, too soon.
Yeah.
This all black ship is just flying at you at full speed, and Noel reaches down and punches the hyperspace, and you fly right by it and jump. And he literally falls back onto the floor, onto his butt. And he's breathing super hard.
You okay?
I don't know what that was. That was just like an absence. It was nothing. There's supposed to be something there, and there was just nothing there.
Like a disturbance of some sort in the force?
An absence.
Absence.
I can feel all of you. There's something there, whether you believe or not. Even you, 2OB. But there's nothing there. That ship is a void. Back with the crew of the Dolores X. Are you going with them to R15T, or you continue repairs and let Rorku and Cam do the The I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
Scavenging. Shopping.
There was a word I was looking
scavengers.
for.
We're bounty hunters.
Yeah, the supply run.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give us a shopping list.
Since I'm the only mechanic.
Well, we kept our shift up. We can recognize it. We're just not going to be able to do the work.
All three are going through and taking things apart. And you head towards the command center of the ship, and it's just wrecked. But you've been able to get quite a few parts. Shockingly, a lot of parts. There's a lot of redundancy in this ship, which you expect because it's a droid ship, and they don't need as much room for, squishy stuff. You find what looks like a detention cell attached to the bridge of the ship. It's still locked down.
Well, I mean, it's not going to have a nav system or parts for the engine or hyperdrive, so I fail to see how that's useful.
Cam, your mic shut off.
Of course I am. And you said you did not sense any life forms on the ship?
No.
Not any longer.
Oh man, if we killed a bunch of Jedi, I'm gonna be totally not bummed.
Should we check it out?
Yeah, man. I'll get out my my light blaster and pop that baby open. Let's see what's inside.
Takes a little bit of time, but these are thick 2Cs thick doors. While you're doing that TR15T or TR15T, I said it right. You're able to find a plethora of things in the cargo. What's remaining of one of the holds. Like, these guys were moving goods, or they were scrapping ships. So you're like, oh, we're going to be taking all of this.
Yes.
With that, you have enough to not only get back to where you were, but enough time and some additional equipment, you can make some upgrades.
Okay. Can we, I'm also looking to, take armaments off of their ship to add to door excess.
There's not a lot of armaments left. You guys did do a good job of kind of de-arming them and desensoring them.
Okay.
You do find that there is a boost, so you can boost your sublight engine now. That's more of kind of just a machine you can basically plug in. It's big, and they can't lift it, but you can definitely lift it, or you can use a hover lift to get it over. Rorku, you're able to get the doors open. You get inside, and you see a smashed Inquisitor droid. Kind of the circle boys that fly around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is a singular room, and there are 3 upright tables that have been held upright.
Yeah.
You look across, and there are 3 dead Imperial officers.
Oh.
And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
That's a good cliffhanger, my friend.
I figured either that or with the other crew, we had 2 good cliffhangers going. All right. Go on the table, tell everyone who you are, who you be with, what you got going on in the future. Nothing specific, since we don't know when this is coming out. But I will also say we will not be able to finish next episode, so you can tack another episode on. I know, Beard, this is a gift that just keeps on giving for you.
It's like real Star Wars.
Ongoing.
It's like a Star Wars that's not on Cartoon Network.
Oh, it hurts.
Hey, Cartoon Network, stop arbitrarily canceling good stuff, you assholes.
Fair.
Pieces of shit.
That's your story.
Go Team Venture.
I mean, didn't they also cancel Joe Pera? Yeah, then fuck you.
Young Justice, Justice League Unlimited. Need I go on?
Yes.
At least Primeval's getting a second season, or Primal's getting a second season.
Sure.
It was hardly unlimited if they canceled.
Exactly our point, Warrior. Cam, hit him with the deets.
All right, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CubicleZombie. You can also find me on this channel every other Monday playing Down and Outlands, wonderful little otter boy. And then you can find me on Tuesday playing Drakewind Falls with the little Owlin Wizard boy.
Lots of boys.
Yeah.
Lots of tininess.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny boy.
I'm Warrior. You can find me at WarriorMN on the socials. You can also find me in those places Nate said. On Down and Outlands, I play a dead gnoll and well, it would be a spoiler to release it here in this particular times, but and another character who's not dead. And then on Drakewood Falls, I play Highland, a very chill Minotaur Draconic Bloodline Sorcerer. When I'm not here, you can find me streaming from time to time over on twitch.tv/WarriorMN. I play various games, mostly Apex Legends and Destiny 2. Otherwise, you can find me over at the FreeForge Discord at thefreeforge.com for more info. Peace.
Hey, I'm James. You can follow me on Twitter at HueyBeardWalks or on Instagram at UpYourArchitecture. You can find me on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday at Drakewind Falls with these guys, being the Drake Warden for our ongoing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons campaign. You can also find me and your King Ginger and Maddie Pooh every other Tuesday on the Dave Wonder and Heel Turn Radio Twitch channels for Tiny Ming Tuesdays, where we do all sorts of stuff. Right now, I'm doing a lot of Star Wars stuff. Hi-yo. And then occasionally you can find me hanging out with your King Ginger on Fridays and sometimes Sundays with this guy as well for Bad at Games right here on twitch.tv/KnownWorldUnited and Sunday for Prep School, where we prep all sorts of games, including starting to prep and look ahead to Extra Life, where we raise funds for kids and their families that are dealing with health issues right here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. We'll be having that coming up the first weekend in November, and we'll be starting to ramp up our fundraising efforts. So look for all sorts of games, including these wonderful episodes coming out to twitch.tv/KnownWorldUnited and our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm Matt. Like you said, wherever it is in relation to me. You can find me every Tuesday on the Dave Wonder /Heel Turn Radio channels for Tiny Ming Tuesdays, where we customize action figures and talk about stuff, whatever floats into our heads. I am often around on the Known World United channel on Sundays for prep school, and you can find me.
He's the third head of our King Ghidorah of imagination.
You can also find me on Twitter at HypnoHustlin or on Instagram if you want to see my customs when I remember to post them, which is not very often, but at HypnoHustlers_customs dot Instagram or whatever the hell. I don't know. It's just at HypnoHustlers_customs. I don't know what the dot is.
You've got the internet. You can figure it out.
Yeah, come on. You're watching
this.
I
have to tell you these things now.
You're watching this on Twitch or YouTube or something. You know what you're doing. You're fine. You got it.
If Muda can figure it out, you can figure it out.
Go ask Jeeves, you sorry sons of bitches.
This is the point where we turned on the audience.
Oh my goodness.
And assassinate them live on the HoloNet.
Save it, Joel.
Pull the ship out of a dive, Joel. Pull it out.
I'm Joel, and fuck every one of you. No, you can send your hate mail, DM your hate to @fingertwitchings on either Twitter or Instagram. Yeah. The odds that you will go buy my book, Party Starters Volume 1, on either the Apple Books platform or Drive-Thru RPG have probably dropped considerably after telling you all that.
It's a super solid addition to your bookshelf.
Yeah. If you are new to D&D and you just need a quick startup and nobody really knows how to make characters, it's a good starting point for that. If you are a DM, it is essentially a bunch of fully fleshed out NPCs, complete with artwork, backstories, all the good stuff. Other than that, you can find me on Drakewind Falls playing the romance novel cover model come to life, Becker Stokes, as his flaming sexiness overwhelms yet another fantasy world.
Sounds like a character who should be played by Corbin Burnson in the 80s.
He's not beefy enough, but maybe.
Oh my gosh, I'm your King Ginger, your Failwell. I have a bunch of nicknames. None of them are probably painted to me in the best light, but that's okay because I'm running Star Wars for these suckers and you. Been great. Another episode. We're going to keep doing this until we get to a point where we're actually stopping the story we're at. And then I've got other games on my mind that'll be getting mini-series as well too. Every other Monday, it's Down Outlands, where it's just mass chaos, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Every other Tuesday, I'm on Tiny Ming. When I'm booked, Terry. If you get that reference, then good for you. Making tiny dudes, having conversations. I'm trying to get David rolled mad at me. Then Friday nights, bad at games. Just bad. I'm just terrible at games. If anyone watched me play Empire at War, you saw how bad it was. Who knows what I'll play? Just generally something in my stream library. In my, what is that called? Steam. Not Twitch, not Teams. Steam. Thank you. And then on Sundays, as it was stated by two other people, Microsoft Steam. That's where I get together
Team featuring us
some of these lovely children of the atom, and we come up with great ideas for our games, as well as getting a massive amount of suggestions, direction, and help from the chat, who may be my current favorite NPC, the most lovable human boy ever, Joshua Bigsby.
Just a normal human child.
I'm just a normal human child.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tune into Down Outlands to find out more about Joshua Bigsby's journey. Otherwise, we'll all see you in a galaxy far, far away soon. And, I mean, if they live through this hyperspace accident, I think it's going to be hard for me to kill him. We'll see what happens next. Bye.